Welcome back to the Cage Cast. On this episode, I have a special guest, the one, the only, Mr. Bentup in the building. What's up, homie? Thanks for coming on the show.
Yeah, it's going good. Thanks for having me on. I did DM you day one about like, yo, if you need someone. So, it happened. It happened.
Yeah, it finally got around to it.
Yeah,
There's...
I
Go ahead. Sorry.
off the rip. Okay. Yeah, I was just gonna say that I was super stoked. That's all I really had to say.
Dude, of course. I definitely had you on the list, and I definitely say that as kind of a joke, but I actually did write down a list of, like, people I wanted on the podcast, and everyone so far was on the list, so I'm getting that done. Now all I have to do is get Celestia Vega, and the list is complete. Bro, 100% dream guest. Oh,
Dream guest? Oh.
Dream guest. Because Mr. Colin Smoke, who we have a little bit of a connection with Lovebirds.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime I jump in his chat, he always brings up and says, like, he'll stop and just say, "Yo, Cage Tunes is in chat, guys. This guy's like one of the best musicians I've ever heard." And like, all I think back to is me just playing my harmonica, super stoked and getting way too into it. And like, that's the musician that you remember, right, Colin? And on Twitter, Colin and Celestia follow each other and talk quite a lot. So, and on one of Colin's streams, I mentioned, I said, "Hey, I'm running a podcast. Would you ever want to be on a future episode?" Obviously, he doesn't have to, but he said yes.
I mean, Colin's such a nice dude. If you like offer him something, I feel like he just doesn't say no. Maybe that's just me. I've never offered him anything. I don't even like talk to him. I think he follows me on Twitch, but I've never talked to him before. I don't know. I went in his chat once and I might have said like Pog, and I think that's about the only interaction I've had with him.
He's a really nice guy. If you don't know who we're talking about, Colin Smoke on Twitch and Twitter. He's a Minecraft streamer, and he's like very wholesome. Makes me look awful, to be honest.
He's been blowing up a lot recently, so if you haven't heard of him, you probably will soon. At least if you follow, if you follow Cage and I, you probably have some connection to the Minecraft community. It just seems like there always is now. Yeah. Maybe that's just me, but like,
no matter how far away, no matter how much we try to get away, Minecraft is always right there.
Probably just because of TTV, and I met all the cool people off there. But yeah.
TTV Minecraft.
Yeah, I have nothing against Minecraft, but it's just every time I try to escape the community, so to say, there's always more. There's always a Minecraft stand that comes in my chat, and I'm not going to complain, but like, it's just like I say this a lot, but I want my own community. I don't want my chat to be the people who come to me when Dream isn't live. You feel that's what I'm trying to get. So it's just, I don't know. It's always a little weird when I see like Dream stands and that type of thing. But I'm not gonna like, you can't follow me or watch me. I don't care. As long as they're not saying Pog in all caps in my chat, I'm fine.
You hate that one so much.
I hate it so much. And I was going to change it to like say there's a BTTV thing where it just says I'm stupid if you type it in all caps, but then I'm mean, and I don't want to be mean, but please don't type Pog in all caps in my chat.
Do you want to explain the reasoning behind that?
Yeah, because Pog is an emote on Twitch, or on like with FFZ and BTTV, like the extensions for Twitch. And if you type it in capital P, lowercase o, lowercase g, it gives you the Pog emote. It's like it's the dude's mouth doing that. And it's really cool, like your streamer, he does something really cool, you type Pog, but if you type Pog in all caps, it's just a word. It's not an image. An image is 1,000 words, okay? If you do Pog spelled correctly, you're doing it right. Same with Pog U. I have seen so many Pog all capitals space U in Dream's chat when I just stop in. It's sorry, I didn't mean to rant about this.
Bro, you got heated so quick about some emotes. Let's talk about
that. I've been on Twitch for a while, man. When I see people use them wrong, it's just... And I watched like very mainstream Twitch streamers who like their chats are very, BTTV emotes, spam, that type of thing. What I consider to be a normal Twitch chat. But now when I try and watch the Austin show, because I honestly think the last episodes with like the big Minecraft people have been good. I think they've been really good. The chat has been really bad. Um, it is all. Sorry, it is just all Pog with 50 G's, and someone will say something in the entire chat. It's just period, and it's just.
Oh, it's so hard to watch. It really is.
I just want some spams, dude. I want some Twitch spams, some normal like. Oh my god, that's all I want. But
Bro,
now,
you want that like Greek god Ice Poseidon just spam chats. Just
yeah, dude, I want to go back to the era of XQC. That's all I want. I mean, XQC is still huge, but I need XQC to like influence more people on Twitch.
yeah.
That's a perfect chat.
Whoa.
Cam off.
What happened? Yo, what? I don't know what happened. Whoa. I clicked nothing. We're just gonna act like that didn't happen. We're gonna keep it going.
All right.
Audio listeners, you should have no problems. But I don't know what just happened. We're gonna skip through that part in the video. It's fine.
Yeah.
But when it comes to chats, I definitely know what you mean by having a spammy emote chat. It's definitely hype at times, and it's really good to see a community like hive mindset of like what's going on and how they're reacting. I guess it's just because I've had the chat that I've had for so long. I really enjoy having like multiple conversations with people at the same time, where it's just someone's talking to me about how their day was, and somebody else is telling me, hey, did you see that thing I DM'd you? And it goes on, and I really like conversation based chats, and that's why I can't sit through certain streamers who just stare at the screen and they're like, well, did chat like that? And they stare at chat, don't respond to a single person in chat, and go, okay, continue. I hate that so much. No, I'm not calling out anyone specific. Bobera.
I think the like talking to your chat and having those conversations is much better when you're not like a partner type of chat, like 100 viewers or less type of thing. I think that totally works. But when you're watching a lover host with 100,000 people,
you can't.
Chat has to be a singular thing. But when I go into that, I see so many different people, and I don't like that. If I go into XQC's chat, I'll see like, all right, I guess it's time to spam Pog. Oh, I guess it's time to spam Weird Champ. All right, cool. Time to dance. Let's go. And you just cycle between those, and that's what I like. But then you get like a chat with 100,000 people, and all of them are typing out full sentences. It doesn't work.
Oh,
and I want to, yeah. And they're not going to respond to it anyways. It's a show. That's also what I don't get.
It's it definitely is difficult having that type of chat. Like how we mentioned Colin, he has, I want to say, like averaging right around 100-ish viewers at all times.
He's like 300 now. He's popping off.
Jesus Christ.
He's anywhere from like 250 to 350 when I see him.
Okay, so homie's doing well. But even his chat, at times it's a single mind, but it always jumps back to a bunch of people typing out sentences and then somehow getting upset because he couldn't read them. Because I've definitely been there, where as just a chatter, you think like, oh, why did you ignore me? Why didn't we talk about that? But as a streamer, you realize it's almost impossible to catch and comprehend every single message, especially at that level.
Oh yeah, 100%.
I struggled with it when I had 5 viewers, and I still struggle with it now. But
yeah,
it's unrealistic.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that what I've noticed with at least my Yepcast streams recently, because there's more people in chat, there's more viewers, that type of thing, I 100% see every single message in chat. But especially on a stream like that, I'm not going to respond. It's not in the middle of a podcast is not the time to be responding to chat. And then people in chat will say, yo, did you see my thing? Yo, did you see? I'm like, I have to type in chat back to them because I don't want to interrupt anything. I'm like, yeah, I saw it. It's just this isn't the time to be doing that. And I've been
Mm-hmm.
feeling that a lot and a lot more with my content, is that I want to shift it off of chat based to something that's just purely entertaining if someone stops in. And I think that it's really hard when you're a small streamer, 100%. But I just want to be able to do that. I want to be able to have content first, chat interaction later when there isn't necessarily as much content happening.
Mm-hmm.
That's my thoughts on it. Even though I'm definitely a smaller streamer,
I
I
think I think there's two roads that you could go down, and either one I'd respect. Um, One is like for your normal streams, keep it how it is, live that life. But for Yebcast, you physically can't respond to chat. I would I would turn on emote only chat just for the podcast, and then
I'm
afterward turn it back on.
what I mostly do is chat doesn't pop up on stream. It doesn't do anything like that. And because a lot of people, I have a widget for people to like submit questions, but I'm not the best at checking it, and people don't really like doing their stuff there. So
Mm-hmm.
people will ask like questions in chat, and and then I'll like bring them up as a topic. I'll add it to the topic list, something like that. And I think that that's good. And but for the most part, if people are getting like, oh, why aren't you responding my chat, anything like that, all of the contestants or all of the like people who are on the podcast will type in chat. I'll type in chat a little bit if I'm not the one talking, just so people still feel that interaction. Because
Mm-hmm.
I think that is important when you're smaller. I really think it is, but it's definitely harder when you're in like the 30 viewer range. Plus, you're also not supposed to be responding to chat. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
it's just yeah, that's just a really weird scenario for me.
It
But I've been getting more and more used to it.
It's definitely difficult. I don't know if you know Gondok or Gondoctor.
Hmm.
He's the for those of you who don't know, he's the guy who interviews four contestants to be on the Austin show, and he streams more than Austin does because the show is way larger, so it takes more time to prepare. But his streams, there have it's essentially all the time an open interview podcast style stream every single day with different people in the seats, and the only time he really breaks the podcast style of just interviewing is whenever someone donates or gifts subs, because he thanks them, and then everyone in the call says, "Oh, thank you, long chair, for the 20 subs. Oh, dang," you know. But other than that, he keeps it very professional and just keeps it moving. He still has sentences and paragraphs in his chat, but the only times he really responds to them is when he feels the need to, and he'll mute himself in the call and just respond to it real quick and then go off. But
Hmm.
yeah, I think that's different. Where like he can do that because they're interviews; it's not as important. But Austin, no way he could do it because it's the middle of a show. You're not gonna set. Imagine you're in the live audience at like Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Fallon, and you just say, "Hey, do you remember that time I told you about?" And then you get upset that he didn't answer you. You really? Or you're lucky you didn't
Yeah,
get kicked. IRL
yeah,
banned.
yeah. It's luckily with Twitch chat there isn't like, well, I don't know if this is a luckily or not. Is that there's really no consequence for being dumb,
Yeah.
which I feel like I almost just wish that there was. I wish that I could just ban people for being dumb, but I can't. And same with
Mm-hmm.
other streamers. If they just start banning people out of the blue for like asking a question, it's gonna it's gonna definitely backfire. Even if you're a really big streamer,
Mm-hmm.
maybe like XQC can get away with it, but even people like I don't know, like Ludwig or Saikuno, who are more like they still interact with chat a decent amount, they
Mm-hmm.
can't just be banning people for no reason because they're gonna start getting flack, and
Yeah.
it's a weird scenario because there are people in my chat who I'm just like, I mean, you're here, you're a viewer, but you're just being really annoying, and
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to ban you, and I also don't want to be openly like, hey, stop,
Mm-hmm.
because there's someone watching my stream, and I really respect that, but it gets to the point sometimes where it'll just get in the way of content, and it'll get in the way of other viewers' experience. And I think that that's the main thing that you need to look out for is just other viewers and what they're thinking. Because if I'm only talking to one dude in chat and he's just like yelling to me about, oh, I don't know, how to play Minecraft, it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
be a good viewing experience for anyone else.
Yeah,
And
I definitely feel that. There's a guy who's been in my chat more recently. I'm not sure if you listen to the podcast. Hi, name is 69 E-boy, but like so many more 69s. But it's just the first few streams they popped up in chat. It was very normal Twitch like troll chat where it was just the most random, dumb shock, just trying to get a reaction, but I never give a reaction, so he didn't. They didn't kind of respond to it. They were just throwing anything at the wall, seeing what would work. And then after I think an hour of them doing that, and me just being genuine, they broke and got really real and emotional for a minute. And I was like, whoa, I broke a Twitch troll. I've done it, boys. Oh, dude. But another thing you could do with chat, if you want to keep it where you want to have the content, but you also want to have the interaction with chat, but separately. You ever watch Tim the Tap Man?
Not much.
So no. The way his streams go, I'm pretty sure he streams daily now because he can. But I want to say the first 2 to 3 hours of his stream is nothing but just chatting. And he's only talking to chat, and he gets really into it, and he responds to everyone. He'll even react to videos with them and do that type of thing. And then it's 3 to 5 hours of gaming where he doesn't really talk to chat because he's playing with his friends. And then at the end of his stream, he does just chatting again.
Oh yeah, I think that model definitely works for someone who has like a viewer base already. But when you have people who like pop into your stream in the middle and they want that and they don't really know what's going on, they don't know that this isn't really an interaction time type of thing, then it just starts to get weird. I honestly don't remember their name in chat, but they came in my chat during one of my Mario Galaxy streams. And this person was like, hey, do you want to I make Smash like move sets for like fake characters or whatever. I'm like, okay, cool. And then he just kept talking about it and kept talking about it. He's like, here, I'm gonna post one of the movesets I made for this character. And then it was like 20 max character messages about this moveset for a Smash character that he made up. And I'm like, I'm playing a game. I don't want to read all this. So but I didn't want to be mean. I was in this weird situation where I was like, I read the first few words and I kind of like mumbled it and I like, all right. And then I went back to the game just so maybe this person would kind of like be like, okay, he read it. That's cool. And then it didn't take away from the content. But I think I think the best thing I need to do, I just need to be meaner, man. I just need to, if someone comes in, I just need to tell them. But
yeah, where it sucks to be that guy who just says, dude, there's no way I'm reading that. I'm not even playing Smash right now, so I need you to calm it down, bud. Like, but I recently, especially yesterday, trying to get back into streaming and playing a dumb, fun game just for me type deal. I was partway through, I was doing a voice for a little girl crocodile named Sweet Geraldine. And I had just a dumb voice, and I was just making myself laugh, and I didn't care if chat laughed. I was just having fun. And then a homie who shows up in stream quite a lot just drops in chat and starts talking about how her boyfriend is being distant and she doesn't know how to feel loved and doesn't know what's going on. Really killed my vibe, like hard. And I was just like, yeah. And do you know how hard it was to read it and go, look, it seems like he just needs some time and you need to talk to him and discuss these things out maturely. Don't do anything rash. So, Mr. Friend, could you help me? And I really came off so disingenuous. I was like, there was no better analogy for this isn't the time or place for this, ma'am. DM me after, because clearly the guy doing a goofy voice for a cartoon crocodile is not the right time or place to be like, hey, could you help me with my relationship problems?
Hey,
dude.
Quick PSA to anyone who's listening to this podcast. Streamers aren't your therapists. Bro, That's the only thing that I can really say. There are some streamers, I know that you do like therapy nights and that type of thing, where
Mm-hmm.
there's a time and place for it. But
Mm-hmm.
trust me, if you come into my chat and I'm being haha funny Mario go fart, aha, I'm not gonna give you relationship advice.
Yeah, dude.
I can't. Why am I so more experienced than you? I'm just playing a game. That's
Mm-hmm. Even
people
go ahead.
people like see this person who, oh, he's entertaining, he's doing this thing. Some people are like acknowledging him for this thing. He must be good at everything. And I
You,
think that's what a lot of people get on Twitch is if someone is even moderately successful in this thing, they must be good at everything. Trust me, I am not good at relationships. I can't help you. I've
this
been
guy
in two
live
maybe and
streams.
it was
This guy live streams. He must be well versed in the art of how to deal with depression and anxiety.
yeah, like I I've had people who have come to my chat and talk about I'm like talk to a therapist, and then they keep talking. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I can't give you advice. I don't want to give wrong advice because then that would probably hurt, and I don't want me to become your therapist because I definitely can't do that. I took AP
Mm-hmm.
Psych last year, but that don't mean anything. Learned about like classical conditioning, not how to deal with depression. I mean, a little bit, but not really.
Bro,
And
I'm
it
not gonna
was
lie to you. The most fun class I had when I did attend college was the psych class. It was so much fun. I learned so much. I still failed hard, but it was so much fun. But even episode 1 of the podcast, me and Praise talked about it, and Praise he is one of the last people you talk to while he's streaming when you need like emotional help because homie like and he said like I'll definitely say like, hey, I'm sorry, I feel bad for you, man, but if you want to talk, we can talk later, but now is really not the time. And he'll just say it bluntly, and or sometimes he'll just joke about what you're dealing with and just continue and be like, you should have known when you came into a streamer's chat, you go to your therapist, go to your friends, not me. And dude, I it's different because he can, and he has that, but I've already built enough people to where like they know if they need to, they can talk to me. Like, if anyone needs to talk, they can hit me in the DMs. I'll always answer. That's like, I always answer my messages. I don't leave anyone on red. I 100% stand by that. And there's times during the stream it's not the time. And I have streams where I do just talk to chat and be like, hey, let's talk about what's going on. I'll talk about my feelings. You talk about yours, and it's an exchange. But when I'm goofing off with my friends, or I'm making a giant penis in Minecraft, that is not the time to ask for my emotional help.
I mean, yeah, you're 100% right. It's just it happens, and for people who are listening who like aren't streamers, it happens way more than you think. You might
Way
see it
more.
once or twice in chat, but it is if I was to stream 3 times a week, I would probably have at least 2 people that come in and talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
It's so common, especially with small streamers, because
I feel like
people.
the only people other than streamers who would know are mods for streamers.
Hmm. Yeah, it's just not it really just takes away from the content that you're trying to push, and it makes
Mm-hmm.
other chatters feel weird because they wanted to watch funny man play game, not someone talk about depression. And I think that it's just there's a time and place, and
Yeah.
even though it's like, oh, the streamer, he's the one putting the content out, there is some sort of responsibility as a chatter. there's
Mm-hmm.
there isn't much. You can call me a cum crier. You can
Yeah.
do that. I'm not going to get that mad. I'll jokingly get really mad because it's funny,
Oh,
but I'm
dude,
not going to be that mad.
that's even a
It's
thing. Is like you overplay it because there's things that we make chat believe irritate us, or we're like, oh come on, we really don't care.
yeah.
We're exaggerating it. Like okay, you've got the cum crier where when it happens, you get so upset and you're like, stop it, I don't do that, stop it. But I can almost guarantee you really don't get that mad. You're just like, I don't even get it.
No, I mean, I
Dude.
get the meme. I really don't care. I've said it on stream before. I'm like, because some people will be like, "Wow, you're really mad." I'm like, "No, I'm not. I'm playing it up. That's this
Yep.
wacky little thing called streaming. I
Mm-hmm.
play my emotions up. I mean, for me personally, I don't think I'm playing too much of a character, but that's really what streaming is. You're playing a
Hmm.
character.
We're
You're
modern day
exaggerating
jesters,
yourself. Yeah, true. It's yeah, and
putting yourself on display for homies to laugh at. Uh, God, it
because
sucks.
I think that there's some people who will come in chat who have streamed like twice in their life, so they think they understand that like, oh, I understand how a streamer feels because they like played COD once and put a face cam on.
Hmm.
It's not that. When you're at least when you're trying to be a content streamer, you've put time in, you understand a little bit. I'm not big. I definitely don't understand content. That's something
Hmm.
I firmly believe that if you're not big, you're probably not putting out as good of content as the people who are big. I There's a lot of people who attribute like luck as 95% of Twitch. It's not. It's
It's
just
not.
not. It,
There.
I think it's a solid 20%, but
Yeah.
it is not the majority. And I think that's what a lot of people realize. They're like, I need my shot. I'm like, make good content first. Your shot will come.
I actually really agree with you on that, like a lot, because now there is no one on this earth who knows about Twitch who doesn't believe that there is a part of luck to it. There really is, but that's not all it. Because the thing is, let's say it is luck, right? You've only focused on, I need to stream for this hour to this hour. What happens in between, I don't care. You have bad content. You don't post anywhere. Your Twitter game's lacking. Your Instagram sucks. You're not posting to YouTube at all. You have nothing other than I stream here and there. And then you do have a shot. Someone randomly raids you with 1,100 viewers, something like that, and you get so overwhelmed. And then all of those people who, from a previous notion, of like, yeah, let's give them a shot. Let's see what's going on. They all see that you have no substance, you have no catalog, nothing to back you up as a content creator, as an entertainer. They're not gonna stick around because they have nothing else to watch, nothing else to listen to. There, you have to be prepared. So there's a thing. I forgot how it goes, but like prepare for the worst, but expect the best. So you just need to put your all into it. Make good content, stream with a good attitude. If you're not having a good day, cool, live in your emotions, don't deprive yourself of that, but make good content. Post to Instagram, post to Twitter, post to YouTube, make a podcast, wink wink, do something. You can't just, so you have all this stuff that you've done. When your shot does come, now you have a community that thinks you're funny and they like all the stuff you did do, and they're liking the stuff you're putting out now. Those people are going to stick with you. That's your new community you're building. And that's how this works. You can't just sit there and be like, oh, well, I was just waiting until nobody raids me, man. It's because you don't interact with anyone. That's your fault.
I've gotten so many regulars in my chat from raids because I always whenever I stream, you always stream with the expectation that maybe there's 20 people watching. Maybe they just clicked on and you just haven't seen the viewer count update or something like that. Because if you have like one viewer, you're like, no use chatting. Someone's going to stop in, see you not chatting, and dip out. Your viewer count won't change. You can't do it after the fact. You have to always be entertaining, especially if there's a raid coming.
Yeah.
Because I've had so many times where people raid me, and then they'll be like, wait, this is actually, like, legitimately, exact words, wait, this is actually funny. Wait, this is actually good content. Because people don't expect raids to be good now for some reason. They just
Yeah.
like, there's a raid, guess I'm going to dip out. And I
Dude.
mean, it's fair. You came to watch one streamer, you're not necessarily going to watch the next. But I've gotten so many people in my chat from raids who stop in regularly now just
Mhm.
because they're like, oh, it's actually good content. Because
Oh, dude.
I
I
it's
think there's an art to rating, because not only do you have to get someone who kind of matches the vibe and the tone of your stream, because if your 10, 15 people are already tuned and conditioned for what you've got, like, let's say I take my viewers, right? Calm, collected, wholesome. And I'm like, yeah, we're going to go raid Frag Dempsey. I think they're all going to leave. If Frag's people raid me, I already know them. I know how to deal with these guys. Izzy, I have to talk to Izzy way different than I can talk to Luke, because Luke, my mod, I I can joke with him, but I can't be mean. Izzy can take it, so I can just throw whatever I want to at Izzy, and they'll throw it right back at me.
Yeah, that's something that if when you're rating, you actually really do have to think about it. I've been into esports for a while, so I follow a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people who are like sweaty at video games and that type of thing.
Hmm.
And I see them live a lot and I want to support them, but I will almost never rate them because
No,
my viewers are there for content. They're not there for Sammy G playing Valorant, you know?
yeah,
Which admittedly, I like his streams, but I'm not gonna throw my raters over at him. Only like once or twice. Maybe every now and then if he's the only person live, I'll be like, "All right, cool. We'll
hmm,
we'll, we'll throw him some viewers." But it's definitely there's a there's thought that goes into rating.
hmm,
I'm a big Minecraft streamer. You know, if Dream rates someone and he's rating like someone playing Overwatch, they're not going to get a start. They're just
yep,
not. If he rates someone playing Minecraft who is like the wholesome type of Dream, whatever, like when Indie Red got rated, when I think Justin JR, I don't
hmm,
really know, he just got rated by Sapnap a few days ago,
yeah. I saw
and
that on Twitter.
yeah, like they actually got communities from it because their personalities match.
Hmm.
I think you do really have to think about that when you put a raid out.
And
That's
even if there's times I've rated people who our personalities don't match, our streams aren't the same, but it goes well because they realize like, oh, this is like, even if it's not me, if it's not my vibe, they still know, hey, I co-sign this. I think that's good content. They'll give it a chance and be like, I actually like this, you know. But there's so many times I've rated and the person I raid completely fumbles it because I only raid if I have a decent amount of viewers, because I'm not gonna raid somebody with 2 to 3 viewers. It's not worth it. I save until I have between 10 and 20 because I'm like, I'm gonna wait, and when it does happen, I throw it to someone I think deserves more people, more eyes. And there's times I gave, like, I rated one of my friends, not IRL friends, one of my streaming friends, and normally he rocks about 2 to 3 average viewers, and he's been streaming almost daily for years and making decent content. He's doing the best he can, and it's definitely, you have to learn his vibe and how he does things to get into it, but I 100% believe he could be big and he could have a good community. And I rated him with like 12, 13 people, and he just fumbled it. He lost all of them and they all left. And it's like, you have to hook them, you have to make them feel invested, you have to make them feel important. And and that's a huge thing I have a problem with Twitch is there's people who take raids and hosts and follows, subs, donos for granted. And it's like, no, that's even if a host, a raid, and a follow are free, it doesn't matter the monetary value, because what that is that's that person, without verbally saying it, saying, hey, I enjoy your content and I want to support in any way I can. And the fact you didn't at least say, hey, username, thanks so much for the follow, welcome, how was your day? That kills it, and you just lost your chance to have another member of your community.
hmm
It's
yeah.
it's something you really have to work on and build.
Oh yeah. If the especially when you're like a, you know, 10 to 20 viewer Andy,
Mm-hmm.
uh I've been trying not to use the word Andy because Frag keeps freaking out at me for using it. Is like, why are you putting Andy after every single viewer count? It doesn't make sense. And then like Matt gave him a like dictionary definition of it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you don't know what Andy means, just don't worry about it.
Ice
But like
Poseidon,
when
fun stuff.
yeah, but like when you're in that range, it's everyone who stops in your chat, they're going to expect some sort of acknowledgement. If you take that a step further, if you actually really make them feel welcome, they will stay. if you're also providing good content.
Mm.
Sure, you can make someone feel really welcome, but if you're just playing Warzone with no commentary, like I see, like I see a lot of people do, that they're
Yeah.
not going to stay. They're just not. I've seen that a lot recently, where some old people. I used to be in a stream team for an organization, Project Icarus Gaming, and
Oh, look at
I
you,
go,
pro gamer.
yeah, Pig Gaming, woo. Played Overwatch for them, and I was like, I want to be a streamer, and then I got in really easily, even though I had no viewers. But I watched some of their streams, and it's really disappointing because I think they they do have some good ideas. They have that type of stuff, but then they'll be doing two viewers, and they just stop talking to chat. They stop doing anything. They'll be playing Warzone or like I don't know, BioShock or something like that. Like I've seen them do, and they just don't do anything. It's so boring. I want to stick there to support them, but I literally can't. And that's what you have to look out for. That's why I personally, what I've been able to do, I kind of got it from playing esports, is I VOD review my own streams. And I go back and I look, where was it entertaining? Where was it not? I jumped up to 12 viewers here. Was I doing something good? And I legitimately go back and do that because it's something that you need to look into. You need to do like personal assessments. Why did you do good this stream? Why did you do bad? Was it an interesting idea? Were you talking with chat more? That's why I went back and I did like my room decoration stream. It was a more unique idea. I didn't execute it that well, but I still averaged like way higher than anything else that month. And that's the type of stuff that you need to look out for and be like, that works. I'm going to try and do that. This didn't work. I won't do that. Looked back on my Overwatch stream and realized I thought I was doing good. But I looked back at the stream and it was so boring. It was so boring. That's why I didn't have viewers. It wasn't the game. It was just boring. I was shouting and playing DPS. And I'm bad at DPS.
Oh my god. I could not agree with you more. You have to, dude. I don't get why people don't do this more. And okay, if you are a content creator in any capacity, whether it's music, whether it's art, even streaming, YouTube, podcasting, whatever you do, review your work. Review it. Watch your own videos. Listen to your own podcasts. Watch your own VODs. Watch your clips. You need to assess it because if you think of it this way, every like major athlete, what do they do after they have a game on Monday? Like they have a game on Sunday, it's great, or they lose. The first thing they do Monday is they watch the tapes and they see what went wrong, what did they do good, what worked, what didn't, and then they improve upon it. You have no idea how many times I have binged my own podcast so I can find all the little details that I hated personally so I could change. Like... Obviously, the first episode is always going to be the worst. No matter how hard you try, it's always going to be the worst. And that's something you just have to own. Because if you're like, hey, if this is the worst and it was a good podcast, that's a good thing. Because the first episode of my podcast, it was good. And I felt really good about it. And I still do. But there's one thing that I despised when I listened back to it. I said the word genuinely so many times. I like halfway through, I started like pretend like, okay, what if this was a drinking game? I would have been dead from pure alcohol poisoning. There's so many times I just said no, like I genuinely enjoy this person, or like they're like genuinely a really nice guy. I couldn't stop saying it. And it's one of those things because in the moment, you don't notice those things. You're just having a conversation. But as soon as you review it and it gets stuck in your head, because that whole every artist is their own worst critic, every person is their own worst critic. So if you watch your content and even you don't enjoy it, do you think they will?
Yeah,
you have to review your content and build upon it, because that's knowing what your issues are, knowing what your flaws are, and then going specifically out to tackle them and build off of that. That's what separates good content and bad content. You can't do the same thing for years and expect it to just work. Like the last example I'll give, Ed Sheeran, amazing singer, just beautiful voice, talented. There was an interview he did where the host was just praising him, saying how good of a singer he was and how talented he was. And Ed Sheeran, being a very humble guy, said, "I want you all to listen to this." And then pulls out his phone and said, "This was a recording of me 5 years ago." And he hit none of the notes. His voice cracked. It was awful. It was a horrible singing. And everyone was laughing at him. And he said, "I keep this to remind myself that I need to improve always." And it's, if the guys at the top do it, why are you above it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's there's a lot more that goes into. I mean, sure, you know what? You could be a streamer doing something kind of funny. You get a break. Sure, you might make it big, but the better chance, the way more like taken road, proven path to getting big is by increasing like the value of your content over and over and over, looking back at it, making it better, and then eventually you'll build up your viewer base, and then once you start to build it up, it'll get bigger and bigger and bigger quantitatively, all the big words, you know what I'm talking about. I
It'll
because I think
exponentially
that
grow.
at least in recent examples, in case you don't watch any of my streams or anything like that, I bring up Ludwig a lot. I think he's a really good streamer. And I think that his example is perfect. He
You've
made really
got
good
a
content.
hard on for Mr.
Okay,
Ludwig.
dude. Okay,
No, I'm
dude.
kidding. Okay. You do bring him up a lot, but he is a great
I
example.
do. He is a great example. He made his content better and better and better, brought up a viewer base, like a few hundred people, and then he did a collab. He got super big off that. He did more good series, more people went. It just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm-hmm.
He's gotten to the point now where he's able to make lazier content. Sure, he's not doing like his, you know, Jeopardy stuff or anything like that. But he's still doing really good content because I think
Mm-hmm.
he understands what he's doing. I think that's also a huge thing on Twitch. Understand what you want to do going into it. If you're going into it and you want to be the next big Twitch streamer, then you better put in the work to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, me personally, I mean, sure, it'd be nice to get big, but that's not what I'm necessarily working towards. I'm working towards improving, getting more viewers, but my goal isn't 10K.
Mm-hmm.
My goal is maybe get partner. That'd be cool. And so I'll increase my content, but I'm not going to put all of my work towards it.
Yep.
But if you go in with the mindset, I want to become a super big streamer, then put all of your work towards it.
Mm-hmm.
There's someone I watch right now where they do like 10 to 12 hours a day because they want to become big. And their growth is really good. They're insane for doing that, first off, but like their growth definitely shows it. And they do a ton of interesting stuff on stream.
Some would say that's like inversely hurting them because as there's a guy on YouTube, if you stream, you've probably heard his name or seen one of his videos, Alpha Gaming, Harris Heller. He's a stream coach, stream doctor, whatever he uses now. But he's a streamer, and his YouTube videos are specifically made on tips, tricks, and advice for streamers. And it's not that whole like, well, you just do this, this, and this. He breaks it down as honest as it can be and just says like, no, half of these guys are wrong. They're just saying this because everyone else is saying it and it's getting views. It's lies. This is what's actually going to work. And then he breaks it down as brutal as he can. One time he straight up just showed how much money he makes from Twitch a month and says, this is how much I make and here's the reasons why. Copy this. And he just breaks it down. And one theory he has that I've kept since essentially my first week of streaming, you need your off days. And your off days not only help you mentally to kind of relax and get off of the streaming mindset, that's time you could be putting out content. Whether it's going and clipping your VOD from yesterday and putting it on Instagram, putting it on TikTok, putting it on Twitter, whether it's making YouTube videos, posting on Instagram and Twitter, normal, like a fashion, like a photo shoot you did with some friends, or a story with you and your buddies out on the town, something like that. But your off days should be making content elsewhere before, and then your streaming days, that's when you stream. And so you don't do any other content then. And And that way, because the reason being is because Twitch admittedly doesn't have a good discoverability function to it. It very much is random. Like, to tell how random it is, I said this, I mentioned the full thing in Frag's episode. I'm not going to go in full detail. The only reason that I know any of you guys from Coomcraft, from TTV, is because Twitch randomly did a recommended and Frag popped up, and I thought his profile picture looks okay, and I clicked it. If I would have picked either of those other two suggesteds, or I just didn't open Twitch that day, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. There's a lot of factors to this.
Mm-hmm.
It's nuts.
I would say if you want, I think the best thing that I've figured out, at least for discoverability when you're not too big, join a Twitch team. Mm-hmm. Honestly, that it will push you because the people in the Twitch team will automatically host you. And when you're automatically hosted by someone, their followers will get you recommended. They won't even have to go to the channel and see, oh, they're hosting this person. It will just say recommended channels for you, and it'll push that. That's why basically all my recommendeds now are TTV people. Or if other people are in, I started getting pushed people in PA Boys because I followed Colin Smoke. I didn't even interact with his streams that much, but I still got Clipso in my recommended, And that's that's the type of thing that is huge for being found. And you might initially think, it's kind of hard to get in a Twitch team. It's really not. It's really not. There is always going to be something out there. Mm-hmm. And don't join, don't look at free Twitch teams to join at some team with 1,000 people in it.
Do not lessen your value because you think it's going to make you look better. You need to value your content and say, well, I kind of don't want to join your team, bud. I'm really working on my own thing. And if they don't respect it, they didn't deserve you on their team in the first place. So 100% work on your content, make communities, go into other people's communities. That's how I grew on Twitch. I was super avid into 4 to 5 streamers. I was in their chats. I was a mod for 2 of them, and I made so many chat friends from them that when my streams started, I actually started taking them a little more seriously. All of those friends I made from those chats came to see me, and then we talked. And Luke was one of the first ones, and he's my longest viewer because of it. So you have to make content and you have to put yourself out there, because just sitting back and thinking, oh, it's going to happen. If it happens, it happens. That's the most dangerous mindset, because you're just setting yourself up for failure. And also, I do apologize because I feel like this whole section of the podcast, I've been very attacking to no one. I've just been you've got to do this. You have to. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I feel the exact same way. I've seen so many people that I think are entertaining. I've been in calls with them. I think they're entertaining, but their mindset for content is completely different, and they're not putting anything good out there.
You just get heated because you're I know you could do better than this, man. Step it up, bro. I'm here to help, but you're not asking for it.
Yeah, I also think the biggest thing, obviously reach out to other people's chats. If you get an opportunity, take it. I know that you probably know this too. When I joined Coom, I did not talk. I just sat in calls and I was like, hey, that's because I was pushing myself by already joining the call. Mm-hmm. So joining the call, it was hard. So I just kind of sat in there. I didn't talk. I joined a few times and it was, yeah.
Oh, I'll DM it. I'll text it to you. Sorry about that.
Yep, no worries.
No, keep going. I'm gonna cut that out. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I assumed. So yeah, I just, when you get an opportunity, take it. I reached out to a few people, and I talked to Frag and Mac in a call maybe once, and then Frag came to me. He's like, oh, he's another cool dude from Coom, and then I started talking with them. I went in your YouTube video. That was so out there. I was not ready for that at all. I know we kind of talked about that a little bit on Yepcast, but you said, oh, this dude that kind of joins calls never really talks. He said he would be down. I mean, it's Yeah, it was really hard putting myself out there with this completely new group of people. But
Hmm.
I made a ton of friends from it, and I've got, I mean, the best growth I've seen on Twitch in 2 years because of it. I've been
Yeah.
on Twitch for a long time, but I was the people that I rip on really hard because I was one of them. I was one of the people who would turn my stream on because I'm playing a game. That's all I got, and maybe people will watch, maybe they won't, and that was my mindset, and it sucked. Honestly, it really did. Looking back on it, why did I do that? Why did I waste 2 years? Why can I say I was on Twitch for 2 years and I have 10 viewers? That's sad. I hate that I can say that.
I
But
feel that, man.
because I want to say now I've legitimately been on Twitch for maybe 4, maybe 5 months.
Hmm.
Because that's the amount of time that I've actually put work into my content. I've actually done unique ideas. I've put myself out there more. That's what I consider streaming. If you turn your cam on and maybe you have a few friends who hop in, oh, whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. Also, another big thing, if you're too afraid to tell your real life friends and family that you stream, then you're just not proud of your content. That's what it comes down to. Be proud of your content, proud enough that you can put it out on your main Instagram, your main Snapchat, your main anything.
Yeah.
Put yourself out there, because if
Dude,
you can't, that says a lot.
right then, for audio, I cut out the little dead air there, but um, that my mom was on the phone with my uncle up in Ohio, and he wanted my Twitch because he actually is involved in watching YouTube and Twitch and stuff, and so she wanted my link, so I sent it to her. Like my the first few people that should know about your Twitch are your real life friends. Once you feel proud about your content and that you can stand beside it, then tell your parents if you feel that, because obviously telling your parents that you do some online is a bit harder than being like, hey,
Oh
I'm doing
yeah.
this thing. It's definitely harder. Like I haven't I haven't even told my mom that I actually do the podcast. I just keep telling her I'm helping my friends record YouTube videos, which technically I am,
I mean, yeah.
but yeah, no,
I
it's you have to let them know, because and that goes back to that thing of reviewing your content. If you're not proud, then who will be? Like
mhm,
you have to make yourself happy before you can make other people happy, or else it just comes off disingenuous and you don't really care.
mhm,
But I fully understand what you were saying with like joining communities and being involved, because when it did come to bringing you on the YouTube video, my thinking, and I think we've talked about it a little bit, but my thinking was like, I asked Frag, he said yes. I asked Phoenix, he said yes. Mac, he's always down if Frag's down, to be honest.
mhm.
And I love you, Mac. But I was looking at everybody else, and I was just like, you know, I think Bentup would be good. And I was on the call with Pin at the time, and he had said like, well, why Bentup? Like nothing against you, it was just like, why? You don't really talk to him. And I was like, I just have a feeling it's gonna work, because in that video it went so much better than I thought, because I knew you talked, but you were more on the reserved side, especially at the time.
Mhm.
I was like, dude, if something happens and he blows up, it's gonna be way funnier because he doesn't talk that much. And like the first thing you really hear, like obviously you talked a little bit at the beginning, but when I think it was Frag or Mac who started to piss you off, you just started screaming, "What do you want me to do?" it was so much fun.
Yeah,
Oh, dude, I
once
just
I get, you can keep going.
as soon as we started recording and we started to talk, and the game started happening and we were all laughing, I knew I'd made a good choice by bringing you on. And I was like, dude, and that's a big thing, is my first community I joined on Twitch was Coomcraft, if any of you listeners remember that. But everything I've done since then has in some way involved all of the Coomcraft guys. I still really talk to Pang. I've hung out in real life with Phoenix and Hayes, like, and Pin, like, great people, and I still keep in contact with everyone. Even you're here right now. But
Yes, sir.
It's more of for me. It's a thing of like remembering where you came from in a way of like you can't you can't forget the guys who helped grow you in the first place. But backtracking slightly, when you talked about joining an organization or a stream team, whatever it may be, growth is so massive if you play your cards right. Because when it came to TTV, I know season 3 is on hold for a new owner of TTV season 3. Well, whatever happens there happens. But season 2, Frag, Corn, and Mac, and I believe even you to an extent helped get me on. I got all my info from Frag, so I'm assuming there.
I voted yes. I wasn't one to take the lead on anything. Frag was like, these are really cool people. We're gonna get them in like a group chat or whatever. And then we got everyone in. So
I was very happy when Frag said, "Hey, I want you to know you're like one of the only people who's gotten 0 no's," and I was very happy about that. I only applied. I almost said invited. I only applied because Frag begged me to while I was on vacation. So like midway through dinner, me and my friends are eating steak we'd made. I'm having to fill out an application to a Minecraft server I wasn't sure about. But one person that played his cards right because he knew what he was doing was Pin. And obviously, if you know Pin Freak, he isn't streaming anymore. He might come back to it eventually, but he's definitely taking a break at this time. But dude, because he's really good at modded Minecraft, and he got in and he knew the reputation that everyone had of him, like the perception we all had was Pin is Minecraft God. That's just how a lot of people saw him. And he was like, well, I've got to live up to that. And so the first few days, I want to say the first week, he gained like 300 followers. Like, yeah. Homie popped off. And he made so much money from hits because people were like, hey, Pin is super OP. Let's see him kill Frag because that'll be funny. And he made a ton of money. He got a ton of followers and subs. And obviously none of that stuff is like, obviously it's important, but it's not what we're streaming for. It's very helpful, yes. But to see him be super involved and happy with streaming, it was really nice to see. Obviously, a lot of things happened for him to decide. I'm taking a break from Twitch for a while, which we all respect. We all love you, Pin. I know you listen. But homie played his cards right and blew up off of TTV. I definitely got my name out there. I didn't get as involved as other people did. Like robbing people for dirt. That definitely helped people be like, I recognize that name. And then I think that was Malum's first impression of me whenever I jumped in his chat. He was like, are you that fucker who stole my dirt? And I was like, yeah, that's me. Oh, dude.
Yeah, I didn't play on TTV too much because if anyone stopped in my chat during that time, you'll know I don't really like modded Minecraft. In fact, I really don't like it, and
no, I can't.
I did try. I mean, I tried a little bit, but I never played modded as a kid. I played vanilla. If you dropped me on a vanilla server, I'd be the one sweating with like the iron farms and all that type of stuff. Although they didn't allow it, but like I would be theoretically. That's the type of person that I am. But when it comes to modded, I didn't have the patience to learn anything, and I didn't really try. I did one stream on it, and then they also just added so many more mods that I literally couldn't stream on the server anymore. Yep. I was getting 30 FPS, and
it was definitely interesting.
Yeah, I didn't really play on that server that much, but I met a ton of cool people. Or at least I met cool people through the people that I knew because they got more connections. I talked to some more people. There was some really good people that I met off that server that I've had on my podcast, that I've done streams with, that I'm in servers with. A lot of Among Us content is with people who are in TTV.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of that, and even though I didn't really stream on it that much, it was still such a good opportunity.
Yeah.
So try and find something like that if you're on Twitch, even if it's something you have to apply for. If you have good content, they will probably let you in, and that's big. If you meet the minimum requirements, which normally for those servers isn't much, I think for that one it was affiliated.
Hmm.
I think that was the requirements, which if anyone here isn't affiliated and you think that's a hard goal, trust me, it's not. Just like stream for a month
Hmm.
and tell your friends to follow you. You'll get
Bro,
it.
I cheated the system. I used it 'cause obviously the hardest ones to get are the followers and the average viewers. The other ones, that just
Hmm.
comes down to scheduling. But honestly, all the final stretch, as soon as I hit 50 followers, the only thing I needed to hit was that average view count. And the way I did it was I would stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 1 hour each of those days. I had my phone on an alt account. I had my brother. I had his 3 friends. I had my 4 friends I was playing with. I had my other friend at school. Like, we all just, and I said, you can have it on. You don't have to watch it. Just make sure when you put it on mute, go one above it so the sound's on, and it counts. And I speed ran the average viewer count because I was like, dude, there's no way I'm gonna be waiting for this. And it hurts to see people on Twitch who have like 200-300 followers and they still don't have that average because they're not playing it smart. All you have to do is get the average, and then you can go back to doing what you were doing.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for me personally, I was like, I didn't even realize that I could do that. I was a really dumb, like 15-year-old when I got affiliated. But yeah, just honestly, and if you feel like, oh, I'm cheating the system, whatever, dude.
Bro, that's
Cheat
not
the
cheating
system.
the system. That's using it to your advantage.
Use the system to your advantage. Get affiliated, and then don't worry about viewer count anymore because there's a
Yeah.
lot that you get from being affiliate. And if you honestly think your content is good, you will get more opportunities if you're affiliated.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get, and don't worry about the paychecks. Oh, I'm affiliated. I guess I get money now. That's
Bro,
a terrible thing to fall into.
bro, I
So I
didn't I
fell
didn't see a
into it. It was,
paycheck. I didn't see a Twitch payout until about 6-7 months deep.
yeah, I think I got mine 5 months in because I had like, oh, I got 2 subs this month. Pog.
Mm-hmm.
And and sure, you know what? If you get affiliated, you can care a little bit about the money. It's there for a reason, but don't make it the reason you stream
Mm-hmm.
because I've been on Twitch for 2 years. I'd say about 9 months of that was not me not streaming. That was like breaks and stuff. It's
Mm-hmm.
because I had a sugar dad in my chat. He dropped 25 subs. I guess I can expect that every month now. And then you get that and you're like, wow, I didn't get
Well,
paid this month. I didn't get paid the next month. Oh
mm-hmm.
gosh, what's the point in streaming?
Yeah.
The point in
And
streaming is to fill your own goals. Have your goals set, work towards them. Part of my goal was not getting money from subs, but I made it that, and it was just really draining on me,
yeah.
like mental health wise and that type of thing. And
Dude,
when you get something, you learn to expect it, which you just should not. But
mm-hmm. You really shouldn't, because one thing that'll break your heart is that first time you truly understand that gift subs aren't recurring subs. So that, like, oh, I have 20 subs, awesome. Next month rolls around, you've got 3, buddy. Okay, it's that one. The first time it happens, it hurts. It hurts. Oh, but
I
dude,
I did a subathon and I got up to 43 subs. And I was like, that's cool. There was a lot of gifted ones. And then the whole thing happened. I moved out of my basement. I didn't stream for like a week and a half.
mm-hmm.
And then I checked my Twitch dashboard again because I was thinking about streaming. I saw the sub count was at 2.
Bro, it's such
It's
a punch to the gut. You're just like, oh no, oh no, I've made a mistake.
Yeah, and I mean, then I got back to streaming. My sub count went up. It's back at like I think 12 right now or something like that, which is really good for me. Again, decent amount of those are gifted. I'm not gonna lie.
That's fine.
But that's fine. Just learn to understand that you can't. Well, I don't know if this is even really learnable because I say this, but I still do it. Just don't expect your peaks.
Yep.
If you peak at 50 viewers that month because you maybe held a Valorant tournament or something like that. Don't expect 50 viewers average on your other streams,
Because
because
that
when
dude,
you
that will
get
break
5,
that will break you
it's
emotionally. You're like, oh, I'm not as good of a streamer as I was yesterday. What's happening? No, no. You have to understand that the huge jumps where you have an amazing stream, that's not the average. That is an exception, and you just need to appreciate it happened, learned what worked, learned what didn't, and then apply it to the rest and hope for the best. That's it. That's the best advice I can give you at this point when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
It's you really have to be careful about that, man. It's definitely a fight.
Yeah. I've gotten better at it because I've done so many events now that get like way more viewers than normal. I did like 3 Valorant tournaments, and I've done four episodes of my podcast. All of them get way more viewers than my average. So I've gotten better at accepting that, you know what? I'm not doing a podcast, I'm not doing a tournament. I'm not going to be 40 viewers.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fine because I still have like 8 to 10. And that's a good amount for me. That's a really good amount. And you learn to understand that. But the first time it happens, it hits hard.
Mm-hmm.
It hits really hard. I remember I had an R6 stream way back in the day when basically just all my IRL friends watched, and I got to 20 viewers, and I was freaking out. And then shortly after, I took a break from streaming because I went back down to 3 on my other streams. Like, it was just a time where everything worked out and you got viewers.
Yep.
But that doesn't mean anything. Your peaks mean nothing. Your concurrent viewers do mean something. Those are the stats that you should be watching for if you're a stat person.
I think that's a huge thing, is if you're going to have a schedule, or if you stream every day or whatever, if you have a somewhat of a schedule, you need to keep it, because I think this past time where I broke my stream schedule, it was like the 3rd time. Every single time I break it, I have to essentially build my base again with the same people. Like, come on, I'm back Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm still here. Come on. But every single time I'll leave at like 15-ish viewers. I'll come back a week later and I've got 3, maybe 4 if I'm lucky. Like, and that's something I struggled with yesterday, was I didn't have a great stream, but the thing was, statistically, I didn't have a great stream. What I have to do to keep myself invested in wanting to stream at all anymore, I have to pretend I'm streaming to no one, because if no one's there, I'm just going to make myself laugh. And if I'm laughing, maybe someone else will, because I want to enjoy what I'm doing. If you like it, cool. If you don't, cool. There's many, and what I say, there's many more talented, crazy, fun streamers to watch. If you decide to stay on my channel, cool. If you don't, cool. But until I get back to where I need to hit some expectations, I'm going to have my fun. I'm going to do what I want to do. Before we head out, before the podcast was recorded, the conversation is on Patreon, by the way. Wink, wink. We started to talk about Boy Scouts. Little Bentup Boy Scout. I don't have a lot of experience in Boy Scouts, so I'm gonna just knock this out real quick. I was in Boy Scouts for one day, orientation day. I thought it was so cool. Me and all my friends went because the demonstration at my school, the only thing that we all retained with our small 7 to 8-year-old minds was you get a fire starter. And bro, I was gonna light so many fires. That was all I cared about. I didn't care about the knife. I didn't care about the sash. I didn't care about the badges. I wanted the fire starter. Didn't realize that you could buy one for like $5. But I got their first day, and they were trying to coax me and like show me how fun Boy Scouts was, and like, come over here, see what Josiah's doing with these soapbox cars, and he's got a car and he dropped it down the track and it went really fast, and then he said, but if you take this one, the shape different, it doesn't go as fast. You gotta learn the optimal aerodynamics of the soapbox car. And then we went somewhere else, and they were doing boats with little wood pieces. They were doing boat races. And I looked at my dad, and obviously, way before PC culture, I was literally 8 years old. I don't stand beside this. Calm down. I'm covering my ass right now, Bentup. You never know what you're gonna get canceled for because
Yes, sir.
because okay, I'm gonna spill something. I haven't told anybody. Uh, if you take this for what you will, Reddit, Twitter, I'm bi. So I'm gonna say this sentence. Calm down. I was 8 years old. I was like about to cry, and my dad was like, "What's wrong, bud? Don't you want to be a Boy Scout?" And I said, "This is gay. I want to go home." And I said it way too loud, and I just remember about to cry. My dad scooped me up, and we swiftly went home. I never went back to Boy Scouts. And that was my experience. I don't know how to tie a knot. I don't know how to start a fire. I'm not versed in the wilderness whatsoever.
I mean, I was a Boy Scout a bit longer than a day.
Bro,
I'm
you an
still not
Eagle
the
Scout?
best at that. No, the Eagle Scouts were the. I'm not gonna lie. There's some people I'm still friends with who are like pushing for Eagle Scout, but most of the people who got Eagle Scout, they're not the people you're talking to, man.
Oh,
They're
bro,
they're
the
they're not like
weird ones.
the Chad dude who goes out camping. Yeah, no, it's the weird kid who like smells when he comes into high school.
Bro,
That's the type of kid who gets Eagle Scout.
why
And
is
it's
Boy Scouts the inverse of anything else? Because like let's take football. You go in football freshman year, you get picked on, you get beaten up, but then as the years go on, you become that top dude. You become that Chad, right? Why is Boy Scouts you go in harder than when you come out? Where the top tier guys who have ranked up in Boy Scouts are some of the scrawniest, nerdiest, weirdest little dudes you've ever met in your life. Like
because they talk with other Boy Scouts all the time. That's probably why. I'm not saying that the rest of the Boy Scouts were anything to be like, looking at either. It was
bro, I was dating my first girlfriend, and this guy that went to my school, because we went to different high schools, and we went to church together on Sundays at this time, and this dude at my school was a jerk. He was a douche, right? And his name was Bryce. I'm not going to give you last name, jerk off, but he was a douche. No one liked him, and I went to church with her. It was like Easter morning, so go with her and her family. I'm having fun, and then said, and we have a special presentation from the local Boy Scouts, and I see a bunch of kids going through, right, and I'm like, okay, Boy Scouts. I see that same douchebag wearing shorts that are about that long, and I just stared at this jerk that was rude to everybody wearing booty shorts in front of a church, and I died laughing. I was so happy. I took pictures. I was prepared. Bro, I tell you right now, her grandma was not happy, but as soon as I saw Bryce in small shorts, bro, phone got whipped out. I'm taking pictures. I sent it to all my friends. It was not good. That dude did not talk to anybody for like 2 weeks. Nobody knew he was a Boy Scout.
Oh my god, dude! There's like, if you've never been in Boy Scouts, you won't understand. But Boy Scouts are like a special breed of people, and it is so hard to understand because they're like borderline nerdy, but like they're also good at outdoor stuff, which you wouldn't like expect. And it's just there's this really weird vibe that you get when you're there from like everyone, and then there's a different vibe from like the counselors who are like, "Oh, you wore flip-flops outside for 2 steps from one tent to another. That's no good, man. That's no good. You could have stepped on a nail. A nail could have gone through your foot." Which is something that like, well, not the nail going through the foot, but the counselors being that strict that actually did happen. That's not an exaggeration.
Yeah.
Someone literally walked like from one tent to another and got yelled at. It's
Bro, it's
if you haven't been in Boy Scouts, you're thinking about it. I would recommend not doing it.
Bro, I'd
Maybe
rather
you
you go
try
in
it
a
and you
band.
really enjoy it, but
Bro,
hey, I was about to say band kids, and then I realized that band kids. Yeah,
I was a
there's
band
something
kid.
else about band kids. I mean, I think band kids are more alright than Boy Scouts.
Well, like, I definitely think there's a difference between being a band kid and being in band. You know what I mean? Like,
True. Yeah. The type of kids who will stick in the band room for their entire day throughout high school, like eat lunch there and do all that,
mhm.
compared to someone who's just, enjoying playing the trumpet. Yeah, that's completely different.
I
I think
middle
it's the same
school,
thing with
yeah.
theater kids and people who
Oh,
do
dude,
theater.
yes, because okay, I was in band middle school and freshman year of high school. I played tuba and trumpet and a little bit of no tuba, trombone, and a little bit of trumpet, and percussion when needed. I've always loved music. I wasn't there for the band fam. Oh god, my little brother, at the school we were at before we moved, he was super into band. Like he was in the marching band, the orchestral band, jazz band, another band that a different type. So like on top of all of his normal homework, he's also having to memorize 4 to 7 sheet music, like pieces of music. Like he was living that. You know what I mean? That's not
Hmm.
me, dude. That's not me. Because
Okay,
oh my god.
I gotta know, because I'm a choir kid. What is your perception on choir kids? Because I don't know. I actually
Okay.
legitimately do not know.
Okay. How band kids see choir kids.
Hmm.
So, me personally, the school I went to, we all saw the choir kids just like us, where they were like, we're just doing what we got to do. We mainly saw them for the teachers, where the band director, he's kind of crazy. If you ever seen the movie Whiplash, I've actually gotten a chair thrown at me one time. So like I get it. Very intense. Like you have to know your music. But
Hmm.
the choir teacher, she was just a large older black woman, and she was the nicest, sweetest woman. Now if she was mad, she made it very known she was mad, but she loved me, so I got away with a lot. And um but throughout high school, I went to a different high school, and the way the choir kids are, man. I hung out with everybody in high school. I was friends with jocks, nerds, cheerleaders, even the janitors. Like I was cool with everybody.
Hmm.
Um, bro, band kids might be weird, but choir kids, oh, some uptight bastards. I am not a fan. Sat there like, oh, shut up, sit down. Like I I I really don't care, but like the people in my school, the choir kids, oh, I despise them with a passion. Dude, the choir kids in high school are new Twitch streamers who think they deserve donations and they don't get why they're not getting them. That's what that is. That's what that is. Band kids are
I
the
am.
ones who know. They're like, I'm not getting shit.
I get that. I'm in a. I'm with a group of people who are, I think, not as much that, but I look at the other groups at our school and I totally get that. Our group is more like the people who actually just really enjoy music. It's like our upper level choir type of thing that's like audition only or whatever.
Why do
But
you
the
look
people
like
who get in,
Why do you look like a cast member on Glee? Let's be honest. Like, what?
I hate Glee. Well, I've never seen it, but I hate it because one of my exes only talked about it, and then
Oh,
not because she's my ex, just because she annoyed me by how
mm-hmm.
much she talked about it.
Oh,
So
I know
therefore, I
that.
hate Glee.
Dude,
Um,
I feel that there's shows and there's movies I won't watch because my exes loved them. Like I refuse to watch Breakfast Club. You can't make me.
oh,
Ugh.
never seen that. I'm a
No,
zoomer.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
not.
I felt mean saying that. It was just funny. I'm sorry. I love you, Bentup.
But yeah, I don't know. I felt it. I've never like fully fit in with a group at high school. Like I do theater, I
Mhm.
do choir, but I've never been so committed that I think I can call myself a choir or theater kid. I just do it because it's fun. I
I
don't. I don't know.
I was in theater. I did a little bit of acting, but I preferred being like the tech guy. Like I because of music, I knew how to run soundboards. I knew how to run the lights. Like I understood that. So that's what I did, but I also did a decent amount of acting. The kids I don't like the most are probably the theater kids, and it's not just theater kids, it's the ones that refuse to call themselves theater kids. They call themselves thespians.
Okay. Well, thespians is an actual thing, though.
I know, bent up. Don't you fight me on this because I've had this fight so many
Okay.
times. My thing is,
Okay.
bro, you are 13 on an elementary stage. You calm down, sir.
The only people that call themselves thespians, at least at my school, are the people who are like actually registered through the Thespian Foundation or whatever that is, because that's an
no.
actual thing.
Yeah, yeah.
That's an actual thing.
No, dude, my school, those suckers, if they were in a play, not even the main cast, if they were second cast, bro, they were in, they're thespians. We are actors. We are not theater kids. Bunch of nerds. They take it so seriously. It's not funny, and they scare me, dude.
I've been there are some. I did a play outside my high school, and I definitely got some of those vibes, but I think for the most part a lot of people are more down to earth in my school, but I also might just be crazy. I'm not sure, because I mean there are some people from my school who went on to try and do acting as a career, like they're doing it in college right now, which I don't think is necessarily a smart path, but for some of them I don't really see anything else they could have done.
I definitely think there's a line, because there are so many people in theater who are genuinely amazing people who are doing it because they love it and it's a fun time. But there's people who I think the part that I don't like with a lot of groups, whatever it may be, whether it's something petty in school or something major like, real world stuff, I don't like the ones who, if your personality is defined by that, I don't want to be your friend. I don't want to hang out with you. If your whole personality is, I watched Friends a lot and I can quote it, we're not buddies. If your whole personality is, I was always cast lead role in high school, don't care, adios. If you can quote The Office word for word, I'm out. If you like The Big Bang Theory whatsoever, we're not friends. No, I'm kidding. Oh, but dude, I just
making my Tinder profile 18 from Kentucky. I watched The Office. The 3 most important things.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim. Haha. Squaggle Sagittarius.
Oh my god, Pam, kill it.
I'm sorry. It's just I'm such a Scorpio. I didn't mean to do that. I hate that so much. I really don't think anyone online that really knows just how much I despise Zodiac. Like, obviously, I get it. It's a real thing. It is a real thing. But just because you're born on this certain time and a certain day, that doesn't define you. Okay. And I've had this fight because my second ex was super into astrology and the zodiac sign. And I got so pissed because I'm gonna be frank, she cheated on me and I was calling her out. And then she said, I can't talk to you. It's something about Venus is in its 3rd trimester right now. And your Taurus side is coming out and I cannot deal with you on this. I got so furious. I started calling my friends and they wouldn't answer, so I just started writing texts, like I'm talking essays, and I was going off because I was like, why is it when someone's being a dick, it's not because they're being a dick, it's because they're being a dick because their Scorpio side's coming out because Venus is in its 2nd trimester and it's doing this whole thing and the hypotenuse of all this is going on. I was so upset. I was like, why can't a dick be a dick for the sake of being a dick? Why is he a dick? Because he's a Scorpio. Explain.
I'm sorry.
Bro,
I'm sorry I hit 3 pedestrians with my 2003 Caravan. I'm a Scorpio. It's okay.
Just Pisces things. I hate this so much. Oh,
it's
oh, dude. I think Phoenix knows. I think Phoenix knows. Like, I despise it. I have swiped left on so many females purely because I saw the sign. Like, I'll read the bio, and if I see that zodiac sign, we could have had an amazing relationship. Not getting that can of worms again. You can like what you like, but if that defines you, I need someone. I need to be friends with and in relationship with someone who's a bit more dimensional than just, I'm a Scorpio and I like Friends.
It's like that clip from, I think it was like The Bachelorette, where it's like, I'm a something engineer. Oh, I'm a Capricorn. I
That's
totally
it.
messed up the words, so anyone who actually knows the clip will be mad at me. But that's the
So it's,
general idea.
I'm a mechanical engineer. Oh, I'm a
Oh,
Pisces. I hate that. Oh, the worst is when you see two females out in public who are like 45 to 50. I'm talking Karens, and they'll do, one of them will do something, and the other is like, "Are you an Aries?" And it's like, "I am. How did you know?" And it says, "I'm a Libra. I can just tell." Oh my fucking god. Dude, I pissed my friend off because she's super into astrology. And she was like, "No, give me your thing. I'm going to show you how accurate it is." I gave her a fake date. I gave her the wrong date. I gave her the wrong time. And she gave me this full thing and says, "This really does describe you." And I said, "Oh, cool, because that's not my birthday at all." Because the thing is with the astrology and the zodiac signs, the people who write them make them just vague enough where they can be applied to anybody if you think about it. It's the same
Yeah.
principle as mind readers and palm readers, because they say generalities, you fill in the blanks, and then they run with it like they came up with it. It's the same thing, just plug and play. That's all it is.
Yeah, God, there's an actual word for that because I learned this in AP Psych. It's the word where it's like just vague enough but also specific enough that you think it will apply to you
Mm-hmm.
100% of the time. And that's why it's why people think it. But it's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, so these people are easily tempered but are good with other people. It's like, okay, I've
That's
been good with
anybody.
someone once. I've gotten mad at someone. What? That's me.
That's
I'm
so
an
me.
Aries.
That's so me,
That's so me. And
bro.
that means that this is my best day because this is the day where Aries are the best. Okay, I'm
No.
going to kill it today.
My thing
It,
is, everybody who reads those, like, "Oh, here's your daily scope for all you Libras out there." They never read the Leo. They never read the Sagittarius. They only read the one that's them. But if they read the other ones, they would realize just how weirdly accurate those fed them too. Hmm. Hmm. I
I
get so frustrated.
I think I think technically I'm an Aries. Not that I care, but I literally looked it up and I'm okay. I know this is general, but I don't even think this is me. Like even with the generalizations that it's making and the vagueness,
Hmm.
this still is not me. I don't know what it says about Aries traits. Um, Passionate, motivated, and a confident leader.
Homie, when was the
Yeah,
last
that
time you streamed?
okay. Okay. It was yet cast like 5 days ago, okay.
Oh god,
Um
I'm so sorry. I'm kidding. I love
Builds community with their cheerful disposition and relentless determination.
that. Okay, Bentup, we're buddies. I appreciate you. I love you, man. But even you can agree that is not you. That
That ain't, that ain't me.
that is not you, Chief.
Look, man, I'm a little passionate about some stuff. You know, I do have determination about some stuff, but 95% of the time, that ain't me. I am not. I
Passionate,
don't build my
passionate, and determinate. Last slide 3 months ago. My chest hurts. Oh, oh my god. I'm so sorry, Bentup.
I can't be mad about that. It's so true. It's so true that uncomplicated and direct in their approach, they often get frustrated by exhaustive details and unnecessary nuances. Okay,
That's
finally
accurate.
something that relates to me. Finally something.
I was gonna say that's pretty
That
accurate,
is not that is accurate. I yell about a lot of
Oh,
stuff, the
bro,
slightest stuff. If anyone has ever played Valorant with me, they'll understand.
bro,
One kill, I'm about to rage quit the game.
bro, my chest is like so tight. I was laughing so hard. I'm so sorry, man.
I mean, no, It's completely true. Yeah, relentless determination. That's why I waited until like a day before to finally get people for Yepcast. Yep, relentless determination.
Oh my fucking god. Okay. I hate to cut this off, but we've got to end the episode here. If you want to hear the rest of our conversation, head over to Patreon. $1 a month, you get the rest. $3 you get the behind the scenes, which is typically the better content, if we're being honest. But I appreciate you so much for coming on the show, Bentup. This has been a ton of fun.
It has, yeah. Thank you so much for having me. It's been so much fun.
Dude, of course. We gotta do this again in the future.
Hmm.
Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to the CageCast episode 7. The guest for episode 8 is a big surprise I'm working on, possibly dual guests. We're gonna see. But I'll keep you posted on Twitter. On Monday, I'll be announcing the next guest. But thank you so much for watching. See you next week. Peace.